Welcome back to the Get Busy Podcast. That's your boy B. Jones.
Yeah, that's your boy Izzy over there.
We in this thing.
What's good with you, man?
Yo, man, everything. It's a good day. It's a good week, you know.
Yeah.
Things getting kind of a lot more back to normal for a very short period of time. Kids about to be out of school, so
Okay.
that's gonna throw some differences into the regular schedule.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely things are on the up and up.
Word.
So, yeah, man. What's going on your way?
Man, shoot, living life, just getting some of these house projects done.
Yeah, man, I came in the crib and noticed you got new lights. You know what I'm saying? Looks like you had a major painting that went underway.
Yeah.
Or undertaking.
So I might put some of this stuff on the podcast, just some like home renovation type stuff. So we'll see for the future. I mean, we're in the works. Me and the wife talking about it, so we'll let y'all know.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be good. It looks good.
An inside look, man. So what's good with you? What's been good with you, bro?
Man, so after mom's passed, my dad's been at the crib with us for a couple of weeks, or maybe about 2 months. You know what I'm saying? And my brother came through to kind of help out at the crib, just kind of make sure things went real smooth. So, man, big shout out to them. Grateful for the help that they've been giving us. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And but yo,
So
hey, everything, God works everything, what's the Romans 8:28, all things work together for the good, right? Yeah, so
love the Lord.
Man, Pop's been at the crib. It's been a beautiful help. And it's one thing about my dad, man, he has to be busy, yo. Like he can't just like chill. Like there's not he maybe for a few minutes at a time, but
yeah. That is good.
I mean, it is what it is. It's definitely not bad. That's for sure. It's definitely not bad. It's not good. It's great. But that OCD be kicking his behind sometimes. Man.
Yeah.
So he asked me a couple of days ago. He was like, "Yo, man, I'm thinking about some of the leaves in the backyard. You ever do a controlled burn out here?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know if maybe my neighborhood has a particular ordinance or, I'm not sure how that works. Let me figure that out." To me, that meant, I don't know, let me go find out and I'll let you know, To him, that meant, when you're driving on the street and then it's like, sometimes there's like a red light or there's like an actual stop sign, the octagon, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But then there's other times there's like a roundabout or like a yield sign, and it's just up to your determination if you could go or not.
Right.
To me, what I said was like a stop sign. You know what I'm saying? It was like, hey, I don't know. Let's figure this out. So, but to him, it's like, yo, nobody's coming. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I was out running errands first thing in the morning. I get back home and I'm about to take a nap. I'm like, all right, cool. Things are taken care of. It's handled. Mm-hmm. I've been up since 6. Got the kids out the house. Everybody's good. Wife's good. Let me take this little power nap before, things get hectic.
Right.
I get a call from my brother like, yo, I need you to help me get the bucket over the fence because the fire's back in the neighbor's yard. I'm like, what?
What fire?
I'm like what are you talking? First of all, I didn't answer the phone when he called me the first time. I was like, nah, I just sat down and go to sleep. I was like, man, whatever it is, he'll figure it out. I'll get back with him when I get up. Next call comes in like 11 seconds later. I'm like, uh-oh,
Yeah, them back-to-back calls.
Yeah, I was like, all right, okay, let's see. So he's like, yeah, I need to get, I'm like, what do you, okay, let me, I'm like, where are you talking about? In the backyard. Okay, cool. So I go run downstairs, like, what's going on? I see my dad sitting on the stairs, huffing and puffing, like, I'm like, what? Okay, and I look up and there's a blaze going on. There's a blaze going on, the pine straw in the backyard, like halfway through the backyard. Okay. And I see Mo in my neighbor's backyard, like, yo, over here. The bucket of water's right over there. I'm like, what is going on? So I run to go get the bucket, give it to him. He's pouring out the hose. Pouring out the fire with the buckets. I'm like, yo, what happened? He's like, man, Pop got winded. You know, he just got too tired. He couldn't give me the water. I'm like, when did y'all start burning the leaves? He's like, man, yeah, we just wanted to try to get it, you know, just do a controlled burn. It's like, all right. So I go talk to Pop. I'm like, hey, what's going on? He just got tired. He's like, yeah, son. But if you look, it looks real good. You know, we got it. I'm like,
all right. Glass half full. You know,
hey, you know, so I'm like, yeah. So
as your backyard is on fire,
as it's on fire, like, you know, actively burning. And so I'm like, all right, let me. But look, where's the water hose? You know? Oh yeah. Oh. I'm like, I had this water hose for like 5 years, 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's been outside. Oh yeah, that old thing, man. One of those days when it was cold, son. You know, it just burst. You know, it just had the water going everywhere. So I just had to. That's not really what happened. Okay.
A little exaggeration, maybe.
Man, listen. Look, my dad's one of my heroes. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And he's always got the best intentions, right? Mm-hmm. But that OCD is kicking his behind, right? Mm-hmm. So that water hose was just on the back patio. Mm-hmm. It was not wrapped up properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just there. It might have had some pine straw or something on top of it or in between. And to him, it's not neat. It's trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so here I could actually use the water hose to put the fire out in the backyard.
Yeah.
And instead we go into the spigot, you know, with buckets to go back and forth.
Old school fireman style. Yeah.
But got it knocked out. You know, one of the neighbors complained, man, they didn't get no damage. The other neighbor was cool where we originally put the fire out. Mm-hmm. But I was looking out that next morning and I was talking to my brother like, yo, I've been in this house for 2 years, right? Mm-hmm. In the backyard, when we first moved in, it was wild back there. We had to get somebody to come and clear it, you know. Mm-hmm. But they cleared it. They didn't. They cut things down, but they didn't clear it.
Right.
And so over time, it was like, all right, let's focus on the front yard. I got the front yard right. Okay, the backyard's kind of left that. But whenever I looked in the backyard, all I saw was like just a yard. I didn't have, you know, it was nothing that like I really wanted to do anything. The kids would go back there sometimes. All right, cool. It's something they can go out there and play.
Yeah.
But that next morning when I'm out there talking to Mo, yo, I see a clear backyard. I'm like, oh, yo, a little gazebo could go right there. We could put like a little bench, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about like the little, you know how they have those like soft light bulbs that go, you know, people like that. I'm like, man, maybe we could put some poles up, get the light bulbs, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it hit me. It's like, and then I started thinking about other areas of my life. I had no vision for my backyard because it was cluttered. You know what I mean? Because it was not well kept. It was not together in a particular way. And as soon as it was cleared up, as soon as there was clarity, I was able to see the vision for not only for the yard, but for my life, for what the kids potentially could be doing, for what my wife could be doing in that space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought about it, even in my house, like when I get home and things are like cluttered, there's dishes or the bedroom is, you know what I mean? Like just closed places and stuff like that. It's like, I don't operate well in spaces like that. You know what I'm saying? So then like I'm trying to clean up and get everything back together. But by the time I finish, now I'm tired and it's time to get back to my regularly scheduled programming, like tomorrow's work, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But in this space right now, you know, my wife's been really aggressive, especially since my mom's passed. She's like, I'm gonna make my Trudy proud. And she's been keeping things a lot more together. We've been on top of the kids, keeping their rooms together. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, the ideas are flowing, right? Mm-hmm. Like the thoughts and the planning for what it is that we can do for our lives is real. And most of that is just, I never understood how like a clear space can allow God to put the vision in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's something that's actually been going on like actively right now. And, you know, you and I have talked about this before, even on the pod, but I didn't even connect the dots this way, right? But in your finances and your bread, right? Before I started budgeting and having a plan for my money and thinking about it, it was just in my head. I would go spend something here. I'll spend something here. I thought that I had enough. Overdraft fee, figure it out. You know what I mean? Work, pay. But it wasn't planned out. There was no clarity. It was clutter, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as we put that budget together, as soon as we started actually being diligent with it and actually paying attention to it, is same thing as the backyard. I'm able to see it, you know what I mean? And now there's like a vision on what it is that we're trying to do with our bread. And so, which brings me to the point, what we wanted to talk about today, when it's like greatness, right? And some of the things, or specifically how clarity can help get you there. But then some of the examples that we see, like in life, you look at somebody like we were talking about LeBron James, right? 41 years old, bro. He had 27 points last night. They lost, but he's still executing at the highest of high levels.
Yeah.
20 years older, 18, 17, 19 years older than the next best players in the league, but he's still as good as all of them. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And your girl Allison Felix just came out of retirement, so she could.
Shout out to Allison Felix.
I think she's like 40, or she'll be 42 when the Olympics hit, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, so she qualified for the upcoming Olympics, and she's, I guess, going to be the oldest track and field star. So, yeah, that's amazing.
It's super, super amazing. First of all, just to qualify at that age, you know what I mean?
Right.
When you're competing against 18-year-olds and 19 and 20-year-olds.
Young enough to be your kids.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got to, so like you were saying, when you have clarity can leads to vision. Mm-hmm. And then vision leads to greatness, leads to great things, leads to accomplishments, leads to goals being met. Life change, you know what I'm saying? So, with us, me and my wife, we received that vision, this was 16, 17 years ago, about our finances. Had we not had that, we wouldn't be sitting in the studio right now, you know what I'm saying? And so, and we're going to be, I'm going to get Xanta on the podcast soon. So that's coming soon. We're going to actually tell our story. So that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, it's when you have a vision, just like the what was it, Habakkuk 2:2. And it said, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. And so, shout out to King James Version. But it's basically, saying like when you have a vision, writing it down gives you clarity because it's sitting right in front of you.
Correct.
And then that's going to propel you to be able to do it. So there's got to be some type of organization.
Yes.
Just like when you're cleared out the backyard, even though it started out as chaos first.
Right.
That chaos was necessary. It could have went better, but
the
that
result
chaos led to like, oh wow, this is okay. Now I can do this, can do that.
Yeah.
You got a more functional space in your home. You know what I'm saying? You think about gatherings and stuff like that. It's just more than just you will be able to enjoy that.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody, your dad and your brother put that effort in, and like, all right, let's get it in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, man. So one of the things, like, I used to always hear, get a vision board, write your goals down, you know what I mean? And I've heard it, and probably 99% of people that are succeeding in life will tell you to do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get your ideas down, write them down, put it down. And for whatever reason, like I've personally have operated like my brain is big enough. You know what I'm saying? Like if I know the goal, I can still go after it, right? I'll just keep it up here. I'll keep it up here. But there is a Habakkuk, it said 2:2. Hey, it's so crazy that self-help books and tutorials and podcasts that'll get you to the right place, right? These people are, whether they're Christian or not, will still be using Christ-centered biblical principles to execute the success of their life. It's like the word said it.
Principles work, bro.
They work. Man.
They just work.
They do. And there's a creation, like when you are thinking something, it's in your head. And as soon as you write it down on paper, well, it is now somewhere else. It's tangible. You know what I'm saying? And to your point, it allows you to execute even more. So when you see the vision, it's not just important to see it. You got to actually put the work behind it. And so to the point of like LeBron James or like Alex and Felix, LeBron James came out in whatever the year was, 03, right? He was the chosen one, you know.
For sure.
And how many players have come into the NBA or the NFL or whatever the professional sports space is, and not lived up to the expectation, or have, you know, done a great job, right?
Yeah.
And
that's tough because, like, to your point, like, and we're using, you know, basketball as an example, but like you see a lot of young players coming to the league, you know, they get that big check, and 5 years later they're broke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They might be in the NBA for like 2-3 years. I think the average NBA career is like a year and a half. A lot of people don't know that. And so, you know, if you don't have a vision for that money, when you're just spending,
correct,
in your mind, it's not going to run out. But if you get an accountant and they show you a printout of like, this is how much money you got, this is how much taxes took out, this is what you're currently spending, this is what your current mortgage, your car payments, all this stuff. And according to this, if you stay on this path, you're going to be at $0 in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And so like, that's why it's important to have somebody, a professional, when you're making a lot of money, because you know a lot of us didn't come up in that environment where we knew how to like handle money. You got to have that vision, like
you do. But then to that point, also, right? You can, and that's why it's so important to not just have the vision, but for it to actually click. For LeBron, he had the vision, he had the dream early, right?
Yeah.
And then he went forward and executed it. And the vision was big. He was operating from a space of clarity. It was big. It was for Maverick and for Randy and for Rich Paul, right? It's like they went and dominated the fields that they went into prospectively.
Yeah.
And took over. To Allison Felix, you know, she's her even to her husband, I'm not even sure if they got kids, but I know her husband is super successful in track and field. I know she, you know, is the most decorated woman track and field star of all time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in order to, and that's the difference. That's why we're talking about greatness, not just vision, but greatness. A lot of these players that end up in that space, we were talking about Delonte West. Shout out to Delonte West and Michael Beasley. Got a podcast coming out soon.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
I'm
looking forward to that. I think it's
That's
called
good.
Shut Up and Dribble, I think is what the name of that one is. So that's going to be good. But that's a brother that ended up homeless, right?
Yeah.
He had millions at one time, but didn't execute the vision, if he even had a vision.
Yeah.
And look at a situation like Zion Williamson right now, or John Morant, right? They got to the league, and maybe their vision was just to get to the league, but they're not at a place of greatness, right?
Yeah.
They got great talent that God gave them, but they haven't achieved their potential. And it takes a lot more to actually execute and get to that space. You know what I mean?
For sure. And I think also you had mentioned LeBron, Maverick Carter, you know, Rich Paul, like he came up with a team.
Accountability.
You know what I'm saying? Accountability and people that, you know, when you know, the scripture says like two people, what was it? Like one person could put 100 to flight, but two could put like 2,000. I butchered that verse, but it's.
No, I think it's like, I think of it in war or something. Like, but so whatever it is,
it multiplies. It doesn't just.
Yes, even it does not add. It's not addition. It's
even with you know, with horses. So if you have one horse that can pull 500 pounds, if you put two of those same horses together, it's not 1,000 pounds that they pull.
Right.
It's like 3,000.
Correct.
The math doesn't make no sense, but that's just how in nature, that's just how it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so like when you have the right people around you, and everybody's contributing, then your efforts are multiplied.
That's
you know what
100%
I'm saying? Well, Allison Felix had her husband, you know what I'm saying? LeBron had his team and his wife, you know what I'm saying? And I was looking at this picture, came to my feed the other day. Well, LeBron, you know, he just got through winning his first playoff game with his son, you know what I'm saying? Which is, it's crazy, bro. He literally created his own player.
Bruh,
like in video games. Like, I'm a creative player. He just, you know, with his loins, he just made a player. So they had this picture of LeBron. He's sitting on the sideline with baby Bronny.
Yep.
Like, even LeBron didn't know one day your son is going to be in the NBA. You're going to throw him an alley-oop.
Alley-oop, bro, in the playoffs.
In the playoffs one day.
Come on, man.
Like, he didn't know that. But when you're executing on vision and that becomes a habit for you, where it's automatic, like, things multiply. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And to that point, you said it, when you're executing your vision and you're intentional with it, right? Because you brought up the point about having an accountant to show you something. There's a lot of these players, they all have agents and somebody that's going to show them, but what is their willingness to do the thing that their agent is saying? You know, do they have the vision for their lives? Or some people, it's just, hey, I made it here, and then that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, I want all of the gold medals. You know, I want all of that. Like, I want every medal that's out there. It's, I made it, and that's it. Yeah. And so if you don't have, to your point again, the team that's around you, the wise counsel that's around you, you know, speaking biblically, but that's really what it boils down to. You know what I mean? It's like, who's in your team? Who's in your corner? Who is it that's able to speak into your life that you will actually listen to and respect? Because so many people are just there for the ride. You know what I mean? They're just there for the fun, or for the way that you make them feel, or for that comfort in the moment. But as soon as you start to switch up, and it happens a lot of times also in life, beyond like shooting for greatness, but when you're shooting to better yourself, right? Yeah. When people come from living in the world and start to choose a life of Christ, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's difficult because the people that were kicking it with you and just partying, having a good time, you know, like they still want to do that, you know what I mean? But you made a different decision. And so you got to surround yourself with the people that are going to either go along with the ride with you, carry you there, or take you there, but not the people that's going to hold you back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm trying to, you know, now, you know, we're trying to do that with the next generation. Like, so, you know, with our kids, you know, we're trying to take, okay, me and my wife, we caught on to like discipline, like really later in life. And kind of we're learning as we go. But, you know, one of the things, like we talk about finances, like what helped was having that, what you said, accountability. I don't think I would have been able to take that class on my own and be able to run with it. But the fact that we were both doing it, she's able to point out like, hey, you overspent over here. And I could point out stuff with her. And, you know what I'm saying? We kind of keep each other on track. I think we were talking about the young lady who played the daughter in Blackish. I think his name is Marche.
I'm not sure the name, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Though.
So her parents, when, you know, as a young actress, they wouldn't just let her take any kind of role. You know what I'm saying? And they also, once she got that role with Blackish, she found a lot of success really early. They made sure that they controlled her money. They didn't let her spend her money how she wanted to spend it.
Right.
Like, they taught her like financial literacy. And so now that she's older and she's a young woman now, she has a good head on her shoulders and she's not going broke. And now you got to do whatever you can to make that next dollar. Right. Compare that to, there's another young lady from who played the daughter in Family Matters, the young girl. Okay, yeah. So her family didn't have the right head on their shoulders. They took her money. They just spent all her money. And they all went broke. They just spent it. They didn't spend on nothing good. She ended up leaving her family, going to go do porn. And, you know what I'm saying? It was just so, because the people that are supposed to look out for you are the people that stabbed you in your back. They took what you earned and blew it, and there's nothing left. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you know, you're in a situation where it ain't your fault, right? But the principle still applies. Like,
principle still applies.
So,
and that is an even heavier responsibility as a parent, right? Yeah, because how we're living our lives directly impacts, you know, for the good and for them. And these are extraordinary examples. Right? You know, somebody that's off living their life and, you know, can continue to live a blessed life and be a blessing, and their family is going to do the same thing. And it's somebody who, you know, is either in the process of recovering for the damage that was done, or, you know, hopefully will get to that place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, that's extraordinary. That's wow.
Yeah. So I'm teaching those lessons to my kids, especially Joel, because he's engulfed in sports right now, doing soccer. And, you know, we're doing, you know, he told me he wanted to go pro. I was like, what do you want to be? He's like, I want to be a pro soccer player. So I was explaining to him, like, all right, listen, if you want to make it to the pros, like you're gonna have to do what most of your friends and your teammates aren't willing to do, because you have to be the best of the best of the best of the best to make it to any pro level, any sport. And so I was like, we're going to put a training plan together, and I'm telling you right now, like, it's not going to be fun.
Right.
You're not going to always feel like doing it. But it's going to be necessary. And so, but it's going to be up to you. I can't force you to do it.
Right. Right.
So, you know, and there's times where he just doesn't want to. So yesterday we was actually doing sprints. So Malia was on the treadmill because she wants to do cross country.
Okay.
So she's on the treadmill. So I usually have Joel on the treadmill. And so yesterday I had him running sprints up our driveway because it's a slight incline. Mm-hmm. And so like, all right, let's do 6 sets of sprints. So when he got out there, I was like, you're going to go start from here and go to here, but sprint all the way through. And then, but you could see he like took off the gas, like kind of toward, you know, when he got to the last half. I'm like, and he's fast. I'm like, all right, Joe, I know you're faster than that, bro. Like, did you run full speed through the whole thing? Yeah. And I was like, no, you didn't. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't, bro. Like, so he's getting a little bit agitated with me. And so I have him do it again. And then Xanta comes out. And so when she was teaching him like how to run, because my wife, she ran track.
Yep.
And so she was teaching him how to run on the balls of his feet. And so she started doing it with him. Mm-hmm. As soon as she started running with him, then Joel was going full speed through the whole thing. Like, I'm like, thank you, man. That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But he needed like that extra push from her, and that, and really like, Xanta brought like that motherly, because Xanta's also, don't get it twisted.
Oh, I've seen him at the games.
Yeah. So some of the warmth the kids will get from me and some of the harshness, like we both kind of like possess both of those.
Yeah.
But we usually work off, if the one person's on 10, like the other person's kind of like,
that's a good cop, bad cop, but you fill out who needs
we
to
try
be
to like
one.
fill it out so we know what to be in that time.
Who needs to be what? Yeah,
gotta be comprehensive. So when she was doing the sprints with him, now he's going full speed. He's actually enjoying it. You can see it on his face. He's not upset. He's just like, he's feeling good.
Hey, I'm gonna just throw this out there real quick. You might want to try to record that. If if a situation, you might be able to catch some of that, and you can actually show him a little film. Yeah,
I record some of his workouts when we do them, just to record them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm gonna put them on. I might put them on my Instagram or something. But that's a good point, just to kind of see these lessons. And so, we're trying to give these lessons of like, if you do the hard stuff now, the later will be easier. If you do the easy stuff now,
it's only going to be hard.
Your later, it's going to be hard.
Bruh, I wish I would have got that message earlier.
Yeah.
And
I probably did. I just.
Yeah, no, I mean, get it. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Not be told it.
Yeah.
I definitely was told it. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure. But I just didn't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the thing, I'm talking to my nephew right now, and he's 35. How old am I? Yeah, he's 35. And he's, trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life, which direction to go, And I'm like, all right, like I get it, but right now you're at that place where, your younger days are gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're still a young man at 35, but it's not like in your 20s. But the thing about it is, in our minds, we don't realize how the time is actually happening. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the younger you are, a lot of times you think that you still have time to do whatever the thing is that you want to get done. You know what I mean? When I was 35 years old, I could still see millions easily in my mind. You know what I mean?
Right.
I could still think about all these different things. But now at 44, about to be 45, it's like, yo, I really got to put the foot to the gas. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But it would have been so much easier if I would have been like, yo, I got to put my foot to the gas pedal at 35. And it'd have been even easier if I was like, yo, I got to do that at 25.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but at 25, I thought, oh, there's plenty of time for me to, I could still do this and I could still do this. Like all the ideas are fresh and the belief and the understanding that you could do it. But all that belief and understanding means nothing if you don't put the work behind it, if you don't actively if you don't activate that level of energy in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the discipline is so crucial, you know, to circle back around to that level of greatness, what you're talking about with Joe. If you want to get to this level of greatness, right? We got the vision. You see what it is that you want to go after. We can get there. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to you, because even as a parent, so many times we just want to pass the buck off to somebody else and hope that our kids achieve the greatness that they dream of, right?
Yeah.
But then we don't want to match that level of effort. It's like, okay, I want you to go to school, but I'm not going to spend any time with you on your homework or your science project or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Hey, I want you to do great in sports, but I'm just going to put you in recreational, and then that's going to be it. And if you make the team, cool, you know what I'm saying? But we'll do that extra level. And so again, you know, for the parents that's out there, not just for yourselves, but especially for yourselves, because if your kids see you being diligent, you know, then how much more diligent will they be? You know what I mean?
For sure.
But if they don't, you know, right now, Joe sees that, hey, Dad is willing to be there with me at practice. He's willing to get up and go to the field. He's willing to be in the yard. He's willing to, right? Mm-hmm. And that's huge, because you're not only telling him and pointing the way, but you're giving him the example. Hey, I got my shorts on. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's really huge.
Yeah. You know, I'm actually going to write these goals down, like kind of our training schedule. Mm-hmm. I'm going to display it somewhere, like in the workout room where you can see it. So ask me about it next week if I did it.
Okay. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Accountability.
Habakkuk 2:2, man. It's I didn't know that was even a Bible verse.
Yeah.
And that's
Habakkuk, baby. A lot of people didn't know Habakkuk. Like, what's Habakkuk?
It's a small book, but I mean, that's I've read it before, and it didn't even register in my brain when I
it's in there. It's in there.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So
anyway, look, your dreams, your goals, the greatness that's within you, that God put in you, and He put greatness in all of us, and in whatever area it is, it's available to you. Start off small. If you have anything in your life that you can clear up, that you can clear out, you know what I mean? Do so. And people used to say that cleanliness is next to godliness, you know? Mm-hmm. There's nothing about that in the Bible. It doesn't say that, right? It's not a Bible verse. But for my own personal experience, I now can see why that saying became a thing, right?
Yeah.
It's because I wasn't able to see God's vision for my life without the clarity. And the clarity came from not having clutter, and that's the cleanliness. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So just, you know, do your part. Get busy, man. That's all we got.
Yeah. So definitely, you know, take a vision, whatever goals you have. If you haven't written it down, write it down.
Write it down.
And then share it with somebody. Don't share it with everybody, because...
Say that one more time.
Don't share it with everybody. Share it with like one or two people that you trust, and let them help you, keep you accountable on that. And we'll run with that. So
put some pointers down in the comments that you have figured out or have found out that could help, you know, you get to, or somebody you know, get to a place of success, a level of greatness. Share your ideas and your thoughts with us. And I guess till then, next time, get busy.
Get busy, y'all. Peace.